Ladies and gentlemen, that's Kevin McKenzie from Noah Powers for his third TD of the game. Yeah, I had to go back to my actual dynasty, the one that I play on and off, like you do, winning national championships and whatnot. But I decided to make this, for this series, a little bit more challenging. I added some sliders, and you can see this is, well, I had to get used to them. So I loaded up my default dynasty, and I played a game with these brand new sliders. And it's supposed to make everything a little harder. It's for the advanced player and whatnot. And I figured we need some kind of challenge. Nobody wants to watch anybody else. Just play a video game. Twitch is more than that. YouTube gaming is more than that. So for this series, this is just to prove to you that I'm not lying. I've won a bunch of stuff. This is all on Heisman or whatever. This should look just like yours, right? You've done the same thing. We got to make it difficult. So I loaded up the sliders, and since I haven't played with 2013 North Texas in, well, I don't know, since 2013, I don't know. I figured let me load it up and see what's what. I'm not terrible at this game, I promise you. You can see all the records here, just showing you. These names bring back memories in my the legendary fake North Texas team. Allen, Graham, Wheeler setting records, catching touchdowns. Newton, Russell sacking everybody. I hadn't had a bad season, but I did throw a lot of interceptions. The Heisman game is really forgiving to the defenders, the computer defenders. They intercept everything. So we'll see how this works. I found these sliders on Operation Sports, like everybody else. I'm not gonna do all this hard work testing it for myself. So let's load it up. This is gonna take a second, but let's do it. Apparently, this 32 minimum speed threshold makes it it differentiates the speed is differentiated. So guys that are fast are gonna look fast. Guys that are slow, not gonna look so slow. Offsides, false starts, holding, face mask, offensive pass interference. These are all tweaked and tested by these dudes at Operation Sports, and apparently they're really good. We'll find out. Let's load them up. Let's speed through this video though. Alright, now that we've loaded up the sliders, let's see what our baseline is, right? We need a control, and that control is all the games that I've ever played before. We already saw the stats. I can throw the ball, I can run the ball. This is like a really good team, right? North Texas 10-0, number 3 in the nation, lots of talent everywhere. These are the scores I'm getting. I usually sim through the defense because I don't want to sit around playing defense, and also it's kind of silly. The computer can be super accurate and ridiculously good sometimes on Heisman, and it's not so much fun. Also, I have a couple of kids, and I don't really have time to be playing defense. So let's take a look at, say, this game here, that game there, this other one here. Score a lot, allow some points, cool. Let's get through it. If we can get a game that's similar to these, maybe reduce the interceptions, I think we have some good sliders. Alright, if we can approach these numbers here, we'll be good. That's the goal.
North Texas has been hitting on all cylinders the last few games. They've ripped off a string of W's, trying to extend that streak. But the key is keeping Big Mo on your side. We've done all we can do here. Time to tee it up. Let's send it out to Brad and Kirk for the call. David and I will be with you at halftime.
Both teams are on the field, and we're just about ready to open things up.
All right, already the speed difference is a little bit changed, I guess we'll say. This guy, Marcus Banks, is supposed to be like a speedster or something like that, and he feels a little, I'd say, more realistic, so I like it so far. This is kind of a preview of what we're going to be doing this series. We're air raiding it, guys, so we'll see a lot of air raid in this one. You know, North Texas went 5 wide against Texas once upon a time. In 2013, that was Dan McCarney that did that. So, if any of you think that's kind of unrealistic, well, you're wrong.
In the shotgun and 5 wideouts. Scrambling around.
So far, so good. Noah Powers can move, but he's not like, you know, he's not Mike Vick out here. He doesn't feel like I'm cheating.
Sit down with this kid. He's very special. There's really no surprise he's among the nation's elite right now. From their own 39-yard line. First down.
Missing some kind of burst, but at least these dudes are blocking. Again, this offensive line is supposed to be, you know, one of the best in the nation after all these years, right? North Texas is, of course, like the Alabama, ridiculous recruiting. So we expect to blow Houston off the ball here, so it's nothing crazy. Hey, look at that. Lead the guy. I like it.
He's taken down at about the 33-yard line.
I credit the quarterback on that pass. He made a great read and delivered a very nice pass for the first down.
From the 33-yard line, first down.
All right, dude's powering through, guys. Again, it feels realistic. It doesn't feel like I'm cheating, like anybody's skating. It doesn't feel unchallenging, like maybe All-American. I like it so far. Oh, all right, I really do like it. That's kind of a pass that the computer would normally just intercept. But you can throw that in real life, right? You can float it over the defense. In this game, a lot of times if you throw like a streak route or something, the defensive back will do like a miracle leap and interception, even though they shouldn't be paying attention to that. Their head would be turned. So I like it. All this feels realistic, like it's some football that we watch all the time on TV, you know? And I'm not saying that just because I'm throwing touchdowns right now. Just for the sake of comparison, we're going to play some defense now. Sure. This feels fine, I guess. Nothing crazy. The real lame thing about this game is, like I said, the quarterback will just have ridiculous accuracy sometimes, and there'll be some computer cheating. Not that you can't beat him, it's just that it feels like you're just really beating a computer, not really playing the game. It's not like a sim.
Outside linebacker blitz and delivering the football for a first down.
Ooh, broken chain. Somebody get that dude. Sorry, it made me think about how we. I just paused there for a second because I thought about how North Texas really did lose to Houston, and I had a whole lot of bad thoughts entering my brain. You got to get their defensive tackle, but it makes sense that he's not going to be able to run down a running back, anytime. But yeah, I like that. Good call, ref. I like this ref already.
So they'll move back after that costly penalty, and they'll have to try to get that yardage back here.
I don't know how you guys play this game, and I imagine, like, I watched a few, YouTubers play this game. Cool. I think a lot of everybody kind of has their own spin on it, and so whatever feels real to you, right, is cool. So I mean, that's basically what we're going for here, right? Like, we want it to be some kind of challenging, some kind of interesting. The whole point of this thing is to have some fun, right? And I think we're gonna do that. And if there's a gap between these things, because I ran down a rabbit hole trying to do something silly. This video has like 3, 4 special effects in it, and it took me a second to figure out how to do it. 1, I just hadn't done it in a long time, and then 2, I was spending time with a green screen, making my kid do magic in a video. So that kind of stuff happens.
I know the defense would have liked to have prevented such a big game, but the important thing is that they held and brought up 4th down.
Morris looking to knock one inside the 20 here on this punt.
What a fake. You know what I've never done in this game is block a punt or kick. I don't know that that is possible.
First and 10. Ball on 24.
All right, all right.
Pulls down the catch, and he's got room here. He's pushed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 3. Going to the end zone. Throws complete. Touchdown.
All right, I'm chucking that defensive series up to some rust here. It's been a while since I played it. I think I played like 2 games before starting this thing, just to refresh my memory on how to play. Let's do some more offense and see how we feel, guys.
Not only just the psyche of this defense, but maybe even the conditioning where they start to get a little bit fatigued.
All right, hurry up, no huddle. Let's get something going across the middle. I like this quick throw, but if not, maybe let's look deep. Now let's audible it, give Banks the ball, 1st down. I think I read somewhere that this is like overpowered, the dive. But if you watch real football, you see that it's pretty effective, so, you know, it's fine. Let's look at his slant over here. He's open. That play is super hard to hit in, you know, again, real life. That throw is very interceptable. This is a classic high-low route. And let's go high. Probably should have thrown it to the running back. He caught it, though. That's a forced throw, man. Now, I think what a lot of quarterbacks, like real-life quarterbacks, I mean, will throw the short one. They always look short. They're always looking for the easy stuff. And a lot of coaches are like, look, you got to unleash it. But if you throw interception there or you overthrow it, you get yanked from the game. So, you know, it's kind of, it's very difficult, right? I think I saw in Hard Knocks or something like that, Gruden was like yelling at the quarterback, like, dude, you gotta throw it deep. You gotta let it fly. But I get why they don't.
1st and goal from the 2. Let's see if they just don't try to power their way into the end zone here.
North Texas has had, in the Seth Luttrell era, such difficulty doing this right here. It's real easy to do it in this game, and I think there's another one of those things that I think is overpowered, based on what people say. But I wish it was as easy as it is to do in this game for North Texas in real life. Jeff Wilson had a hard time scoring in short yardage like that. Some of that is just like line play, right? I mean, you ask the internet and they'll give you 1,000 answers. One thing I don't like about this game is that it makes you play with a fullback. Like, you can't just say, no, nobody's going to play fullback. We're just going to have a dude out here. Like, it makes you recruit a guy that's a fullback. And, you know, you can do some things like formation subs and whatever, but you need to give a roster spot to a fullback. whenever they open this thing up again and we play NCAA 2024 or something like that, let's fix that.
3rd and 5 situation.
What is it, 3rd and 5?
Ball on the
Well,
27
thanks,
yard
Brad
line.
Nessler. Let's do some play action. Probably should throw it to the tight end, but we're throwing it to the receiver. And he dropped it. That's realistic right there, though. That's a tough throw. I like that. He hit him, but he's running full speed and he's in between a couple guys who may not really expect it to be there. Again, real life stuff. We saw that, like, North Texas played Cal, right? There's a few of those kinds of things. Balls on the money, drop pass.
Quick throw out to the receiver. He's tackled at about the 43-yard line.
That's such a huge letdown for this defense. That kind of
Watch the cover 3. I forgot that I'm, like, leveled up my dude, my coach. R1. There you go, Flynn. Incomplete. Catch the ball, Flynn. Catch the ball.
He didn't have any room at all, and he's lucky it wasn't intercepted.
So this playbook is basically all air raid type plays. Again, the thing about like air raid stuff is that there's not really a play. Like you don't say this thing. It's like it's a formation and then a concept, right? So there's no playbook, right? Mike Leach famously doesn't have a playbook. It's just a couple of concepts. You call the formation like blue, which is like a couple running backs or whatever, and then you call the concept like, right, mesh, and then you tag it with something, mesh corner, mesh follow or something like that, and that slightly changes it, but it's 1 or 2 word communication that helps everybody know what they're gonna do based on that thing, and that speed of thought, speed of communication makes it a little bit video game like, and I think that's one reason why the air raid has spread. Gotta catch that, man.
It's just huge.
That makes it 2nd and 10.
What to do, what to do.
From the 42-yard line, it's 2nd down.
Houston's sitting back a lot, so we'll take it. That happens. Can't be afraid of that, though. I think that North Texas kind of got away from that a little bit in trying to protect Mason Fine or trying to protect, I guess, I don't know, field position. It's like when they had Jeff Wilson, they were able to break a lot of things, when they're not supposed to, like a 2nd and 10 run turns into a 15-yard gain or something like that. Later on, they didn't really have a thing that they were good at that you could say, well, nobody can stop this, we're going to be great. And I think that was a cause of a lot of the issues, right? I don't know the details of the latest offensive coordinator and why he got dropped, but I think there was something along the lines of communication and development. There was a lot of times guys were not on the same page, and so North Texas couldn't go as fast as they wanted to go. Nobody was executing the right way. And so the great thing about this video game is everybody's going to kind of just do the right play, sort of. They try to make it seem like a guy doesn't know his route and just kind of poorly run it a little bit. But, what you're missing is that nobody's pulling him to the side and yelling at him and say, what are you supposed to do? What are you doing? And we're also missing the defense knowing that, person XYZ is a terrible route runner, and they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. So you say, yeah, we could just leave him alone because he's not going to really do anything, and, focus on some other thing. Here, everybody just kind of assumes they're a good player, right? It's not a whole lot of scheming. Yes, let's do some skimming, sim the defense. Again, so far I like the way the offense is moving. Meaning I like the way that the game has let me play this game. It's challenging. Nobody just wide open. I just can't just stand there, wait 5 seconds and chuck it deep like you can on like All American or something like that. You kind of have to think. You kind of have to know a little football. And that's the fun part, right? The developers of this game relied a lot on what like smartfootball.com, was it Chris B. Brown, wrote, right? You can see them use some of his terminology. Like I think he called it an inverted veer, and they use it like soon after he did it. Little things like that. And I think one of the play designers said, yeah, it was a huge help looking at him and talking to coaches, this, that, and the other.
They dropped him well short of the line of scrimmage.
From their own 29-yard line. Second down.
A little stack side play right here. Seth Luttrell and the offense and Graham Harrell did a great job kind of incorporating a few of these kind of formations into the thing, into the offense. I mean, I asked him about it. I was like, Seth, dude, y'all going to run a little bit more of these? They gave a generic answer. He and Mason Fine are kind of like, oh, well, just, get better and just do it. But it was a couple years ago against SMU, at SMU, when we lost. They came out and they just executed like crazy with this stuff. They hit a couple dudes on little snag routes and got them running, short passes that Mason Fine could just quickly execute and just, not get hit. They got ran over on defense, though, and that was the cause of the problems. That kind of threw off the vibe. But a lot of good stuff came out of those looks, and I don't know that they really kept them up. They kind of broke them out here and there later on in the season, but it wasn't a regular thing, and I could never figure out why. Let's move ahead. All right, we got to the half. We scored. Let's play a little defense, just to make sure that we're all good on this one. Defense, the computer defense kind of got scored on every time, right? Well, I think I allowed one. They allowed one. I kind of got moved on.
He's brought down in the open field. 36-yard line. First down.
Oh, look at that. He got glued over. Warping. Three wide receivers. See, like a good defense could play the base. But, I mean, a lot of people's base is a nickel game. Oh, we got lucky. I mean, again, there's lots of ways to play defense, right? But you basically need to be able to cover all areas, right? That's why defense still relies so much on superior athletes. So like Clemson's great because they have a great defensive line, right? They can get a pass rush without needing to be creative. So they can have basically as many people as they can possibly have out there ready to guard some people. Same thing with like Alabama, right? They have great corners that can do one-on-one coverage. Also, they have great linebackers and a pass rush. They can, hold their own without having to do anything crazy. North Texas in the past couple of years had a good defensive line, right? 2013, they were really good. The E.J. Agia year, that was a lot of linebackers. Not the greatest defensive line pass rush. I'm not saying those guys were bad. It's just that they required a certain style, and that style was bring lots of pressure and everybody hold up defensively. Nate Brooks and those dudes in the secondary did a great job. This past year, it was mostly there, right? Same kind of attack, same kind of plan, but you could tell that they were young and just all it takes is one play, right? One play you get beat on, and then it's like you didn't even play defense. You know, that's why defense is real tough, especially nowadays when the offense kind of has the advantage, right? You know, referee-wise, right? You can't touch a quarterback, basically. You can barely make a hit on anybody, so you can't really do all that kind of intimidation that was happening before. Also, offenses are better and smarter, and those ideas pass a lot quicker. And offenses always have the advantage, right? You always know what you're going to do. Defenses need to be able to react, and then, you know, the whole game planning, pre-planning, you know, is gone because they do a no huddle. Now, the fortunate thing was a good defensive play. I like that little video game play, made him throw a bad pass. That happens. But you know, you do all this pre-planning, and then they're doing no huddle, and you can't really react to it, right? The thing is, though, that when you have to go at speed, you sort of limit yourself, right? Basically, whatever we can do, these guys can do in a short amount of time, and some of that is limited. And so the best defenses kind of plan for a selection of plays. Like, hey, they're hurrying up. They don't have their entire playbook open to them, so we'll be all right. We score here, right? We pretty much end Houston. So let's go do that. Yeah, face mask. Let's move it forward. 2nd and 19. Gone. Now we get a first down.
From their own 43-yard line. First down.
Run. You don't really want your quarterback running up there against a linebacker or safety, but I mean, that's the name of the game now. You can get down quickly, take 9 yards every time. Well, you just don't want every time to be, I don't know, a third of the game.
He's at the 40. He gets to about the 30.
So again, that play right there, Jeff Wilson scored against Army in the Heart of Dallas Bowl. He had big yards against like USM. I want to say UAB, right? Against UAB, that was the play that he ran all the way down to the 5 or whatever before the field goal. You know, 4 wides, spread them out, get yards. That's great. The only thing though is that you have to threaten them, and you can't do stuff like that. North Texas, when Jeff Wilson was here, was getting to this point where they were dangerous throwing the ball, but for a good portion that 2016 year, is that what it was? What am I thinking? The first year that Seth Luttrell was here, they were rough throwing the ball. I mean, you had a freshman quarterback, so that's always going to be tough. You had wide receivers that were struggling to adapt to the scheme. You had some talent. If any of those guys had another year to play together, Turner Smiley, again, he got good towards the end of the year. He was pretty great. You know, good things would happen there. That's the problem with the air raid. It always looks pretty terrible the first season, no matter who's coaching it, right? I think Mike Leach went like 3-9 that first season. His one of his receivers quit or something like that. So if we ever play football again, I imagine that his Mississippi State team they're gonna struggle to start, and then once he starts recruiting to his scheme, they're gonna be pretty good. He's gonna get SEC talent in there again. He did coach in Kentucky there for a while with some air raid stuff. Tim Couch threw for a ton of yards, whatever. We never do tunnel screens anymore at North Texas. We did it when Seth Luttrell first got there, and then it kind of just ended. I don't know what the deal was there. Maybe they were just like, you know what, we just can't move. Our linemen just can't do it. Let's do something else. Or maybe they're just like, we have to drop something. Let's drop something. Let's drop something of like low value. I mean, you can't practice everything, right? That's another thing about this game. As good as it is, as fun as it is, you can't have every formation, right? You can't have power eye and then have a bunch of shotgun and then have a bunch of pistol, because every different place that say that even your quarterback stands, right? You got to practice it, you got to rep it, you got to do all the things by like every step. If you practice 3-step drop only from shotgun, then you can get great at that, right? Because you have all the time to do that. But if you practice 3-step drop from shotgun, then add pistol, then add under center, well, that's 3 different positions to practice 3-step drop for. It's kind of exponential there, right? So that's why you don't really see you don't see teams have all the formations unless they're professionals, right? When you have all the time and you have a seasoned guy that he doesn't really need to be taught the fundamentals again. But you got a 19-year-old kid and you're like, hey, we need you to absorb this whole entire offense. Also, here's a new way to stand. It's just not going to work.
And down he goes around the 49-yard line.
I love a good dig route, man. We'll see him in the 20, because like I said, I'm gonna just do the 2013 roster, the 2013 team. Like Leonard Pleasant, he was good at this. A few guys from that Dodge era that transitioned into the McCarney era, wide receivers were really good at dig routes.
It's 1st and 10.
Well, I'm not throwing interceptions anymore. That's great.
Inside the 10.
Great wide receiver blocking. Great job, man. It looks like we're going to blow them out. We're going to score another touchdown here. So I think we can kind of sim to the end. We got what we needed from this game, right? You can sound like a coach here. Like, we came in. We executed. We got a little bit better. And we did, right? We got a little bit better at this game. We know how these, we know how the sliders are going to work. I was curious about that. Never play with them. I didn't want to just start it out with, fake Derek Thompson and just be blindsided and get destroyed. So, one, not because I just don't want to lose, but two, that's a boring video to create. And I'm like, well, threw another interception. But, I don't expect it's going to be super easy. It's going to be a shock having played with, again, this back-to-back defending national champion team and then going to play with, not as good team. So let's fast forward this because I'm going to score again and we'll take a quick look at the stats and then we'll wrap it up. Yeah?
North Texas's staff just dancing on the sideline. Their star player came through for them, and they couldn't be happy.
Well, the staff has to feel good. The entire team should feel good. And I know you and I just having a chance.
Yeah, let's load up stats, guys. That's good. 547 total yards, 424 passing yards, and no turnovers. I like it. That's good stuff, team. 5 touchdowns for the star quarterback. Backup guy nobody threw any interceptions. That's what we like. That's what we're going for. No silly interceptions. I mean, if we throw an interception, that's fine, as long as the computer's not cheating, right? That makes it fun. That's what we want. All right. See y'all next time when we actually start the series. Thanks. Go Mean Green.